In this video, we're going to be learning how to make repairs to concrete after casting. So you've casted this concrete, or in my case, I made a sand casting, and the interior of the bowl here leaves a little to be desired. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I could leave it. The bowl itself, just to show you, is like a kind of a fake rock texture on here. It's still curing, so it's not painted yet. But the inside, I think, would look better if we did a repair mortar here. I think would look better if we did a repair mortar here. And I wanted to make a video of this to show you this process because this is something that I think a lot of people have questions about. There's a couple different ways you could do it, but I'm classifying this as a more difficult application. The interior surface is not perfect for bonding a new layer onto. It's not the worst, but it's not perfect. And this concrete, I mentioned it's not cured yet. Well, but it is, 2 weeks or more old. So it's pretty far along. It's already achieved most of its finished strength. So it's going to be a little bit harder to bond on there. When the concrete is fresh and green, it's a little bit easier to bond new to old. This one's going to be a little more challenging, and that's why I wanted to show you the repair mix that I use for projects like this. Let's just get started. First thing you do is, I've already washed this thing out because it was cast in sand. It just has a never-ending amount of sand that it seems to be willing to release. But this is clean, whether it looks it or not. You have to keep the old surface wet. Probably the biggest tip. SSD, saturated surface dry. Back with the sponge. Because I have pooling water down on the bottom. That would not be surface dry conditions. That would be saturated and pooling water, and that's not ideal. So we've saturated this thing, and we're going to keep doing that until we're ready to apply the new layer, because I don't want it bone dry. It's so thirsty that you'll see it. It'll dry up quickly. I'll leave it to sit here while you can see this and watch it. It'll start to dry as I do this next process, which is making the repair slurry. So let's talk about a repair slurry. It's basically we're applying new concrete, but the concrete is so thin in consistency that you don't really trowel it so much as you just use a paintbrush and paste it on. That slurry, you could just use cement and sand together, but I'm going to augment that slightly with a PVA binder, polyvinyl acetate, just to give me even better bond. So basically glue, right? I'm going to add some glue to a slurry mix of cement paste, Portland cement paste, and sand. Why sand? Because I want some strength and some cohesion here. Like, the cement is like glue in and of itself. To be strong, you don't just have more of it. You need something to glue together, which is the sand in this case, which is why we're going to do an equal, approximately equal, Portland cement type normal or type general use, and a masonry sand. Let's just get started here. So the first thing that we're going to start with is some water. It's about 300 to 400 milliliters. Oh, it's been a while since I opened that. Got that opened up. That should do it there. What I'm going for is about 25% of the water that I'm using is going to be this liquid PVA product. Where is my trowel? I added a bit more cement and sand to get the texture I was looking for here. I think just a tiny bit more cement. As long as I add both the cement and the sand in ratio, then I'm keeping that 1-to-1 ratio that we're looking for. That's it for just a second. You can see, look at how much it's starting to dry out around the top rim already. Now the high cement content in there, the high cement ratio, look at that. It's so sticky, right? And that's exactly what we're going for. Damp surface, not pooling water, really sticky mix. Just block out that center hole. It's kind of on its last legs anyway, so we'll use this one. So as much as we are not troweling this around, it won't hurt to like actually press the repair mortar into the surface versus just lightly brushing it into place. So I've taken the extra mortar that I have left and we'll just sit aside and cover it with plastic just in case we find that we need a little bit more. Got a little bit of water in the bucket here, and the high cement content means that this stuff is going to set up pretty quickly. So we don't need to wait too long here. Wet down a paintbrush, and we'll just see what we can do to start leveling out some of this texture. There will be a bit more finishing on the inside. This is just a rough pass at first. We've got to let it set up for at least a couple minutes, but this is the kind of thing you got to watch pretty closely because it is uneven thickness. Some parts are really thin, some parts are thicker. It's very Portland heavy and it's modified with PVA. So there's a lot of stuff working against us here, which will cause it to suddenly set up. Like I could leave it like this and it's actually totally fine. It is at this point just purely a cosmetic thing. Just want to make it look a little bit nicer on the inside here. And here we are back about 30 minutes later. It's definitely starting to set up, especially in the thin areas. I'm just going to take my damp sponge here. There we go. Okay. It's enough with the shaping of that. It's going to do a little bit of more detail shaping. This one's a little bit too large. Because it's so thin and the sand that I use wasn't super high quality, there's some larger stone aggregates in here. And so all I need to do at this point is just let this dry, let this cure and set up, and then come back with some 220 grit sandpaper after it's already set up, maybe 48 hours from now, and then give it a light sand to remove some of that rough texture. Other than that, we should have all of the details, or the defects, sorry, covered up, all the inconsistencies, the holes, imperfections, all that. At least it will be uniform in texture now, as opposed to before where it was not. And I guess I will see you back in 48 hours to show you the dried version. Here we are back about 1 week later. Show you what we've got. That fillet out of there. That worked great. This is just a little scrap of some 220 grit sandpaper. I waited until 1 week, not 28 days, you know, kind of in specific here. 3 days, 4 days. The parged material is not strong enough yet. And if I try to sand it, it doesn't hold the aggregate. It doesn't hold the sand and allow me to kind of cleave the top of it off or expose the top of it with sanding. What it does instead is it just lets go of that granule of sand and it leaves like a pitted surface, more so than if I do a sanding when it's more set up. Now, I could wait until it's fully cured 28 days, and the only disadvantage would be it's just a little bit harder work. A little bit, I kind of find that this 7-day mark maybe is kind of the sweet spot, so to speak, in terms of that interior detailing. It's not like I'm going for detail here. I'm just like trying to knock the big chunks off, basically. So let's do that. Every now and again, if I get a stubborn spot here, I might clean it up with this file. Oh, that's better. Let's do a sounding test to see if we've got that, parged layer to bond, which I'm very confident we have. Right here is, I think we were oriented there because that was where I rebuilt that spot that was deficient. Get the microphone nice and close so you can hear it. Okay, definitely a strong bond there between those layers. It's not going to have any problems at all. It's not cured yet. I don't want to paint it yet. I do want to paint it. This is something that I think would look great if we painted it fully white, something like that. Or gray, if you want to minimize how it looks. But for what I'm working with here, I'm thinking of going with white. But I'm going to wait until it's fully cured, and that's going to take some more time. You could just go as is here. Like, painting is optional. That's just like decorative choice. If you think it looks good like this, then great, it looks good like this. If you want to add color, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. I have so many videos on this channel about how to add color to concrete. But for now, this was a video about how to parge or bond a new layer onto like an existing piece of concrete that you've cast that has some imperfections, some hollow spots. We've resolved that. It looks at least uniform. It's strong. This is going to last. This is a surface that will definitely last. I feel confident in saying that this is something that you can do, you can apply, and finish it to the extent that you're happy with it, and it should last basically definitively like that. If you found this information helpful, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you're going to learn a ton about how to work with concrete.